Good afternoon guys. Greetings from Busan, South Korea. Actually just outside of Busan. We are at Beomeosa Temple. It is a big Buddhist temple here and we're actually going to be experiencing a temple stay in Korea. What's going to be awesome is we're going to be having dinner here and then we're going to be staying overnight and also having breakfast. It's a total immersive experience. I can't wait to check it out. Let's go inside. So the first thing we do at the temple is take off our shoes and then we're gonna put on a uniform.
Change our clothes, right?
So David, what's up? What are we doing?
Just got my clothes.
Yeah, we gotta go change into them.
Yeah, this is what we're gonna be wearing for the next 24 hours. No, 12.
There's sliding doors just in front of us, so that's where we change.
Sammy looking good.
This feels great, man. It's such a comfortable shirt. Fortunately it fits. Last thing to do is to change out of my shorts. I'll be out in a minute.
Welcome to the Beomeosa Temple Stay program. I am the supporting monk for the program. It takes about 5 years to become a monk here in Korea and I am on my last year. For the 2 days you guys are here, we have arranged different programs to kind of help you guys, to let you guys experience the Korean culture as well as the temple culture. To go over the rules that you have to know, they're just basically common sense stuff, not too difficult. So the first rule that we have is that in the temple, you have to be quiet. Normally it's called 무건 and it means no speaking at all. And this is because for monks, we have these intensive training periods, once in the summer, once in the winter. It's a 3-month period where the monks kind of focus on their studies. So right now the monks are busy doing their studies. The second rule is please organize your shoes when you come in. So for this building, for example, if you look outside the door, there's a wooden floor. The wooden floor is not for shoes, so please don't come up on the wooden floors with your shoes on. So the center door has a nickname in Korea. We call it ogan, which translates to royal door or king's door. And the reason they call it that is because back in the past, Korea had a king, and the king would have multiple wives, and the wives would all try to have sons, and then they would try to make their son become the next king. And so during that process, you know, a lot of the princes, the sons ended up killing each other. So what a lot of the princes did back then was, in order to avoid that kind of bloodshed, they would come to the temple, shave their head, and become monks. And so back then there were a lot of monks who were formerly princes. Only the monks who were princes, who have royal blood, can enter and exit through the center door. And then the other doors, the monks that would be using would be based on what their class was before they became a monk. So that's why we call it the royal door. So now, today, we don't have classes, we don't have princes. Today, the doors that are used is decided upon how long you've been a monk. The center door, the royal door, is usually for the head monk of this temple. We want you guys to have a comfortable time. The program itself is designed so that you guys can kind of experience things in a relaxed manner. A lot of people seem to think that the temple is some kind of very strict, very solemn place, but it really is not. So, you know, you guys can just relax, just have fun. So next, I have to explain to you how to bow. So we have a certain way of bowing here. First begin, we're not going to be stepping on the cushions. You're going to have the cushion in front of you. For the entire ceremony, for the entire evening ceremony, and when you're doing any number of bows, you're always going to be in the 합jang position. So the 합jang is basically you're going to put your hands together, and then you're also going to put your feet together as well. And the reason why we do this is because this was actually something that they did 2,500 years ago when the Buddha was alive. This was a posture that showed respect to the monks. The second purpose was that back then this was a way of showing that they were unwilling to harm the other person. It was a way of showing friendliness. So when you have your hands together, you can't hold a weapon, right? Okay, I'm going to show you guys the first bow. So you're going to go on your knees, then you're going to put your hands on the cushion, then your forehead, flip your hands over. You're going to raise them up just below the ears, just below the ears. Then you're going to put them back down, flip, and stand up.
So we just had a meet and greet with the monk that is going to be with us during our entire time that we're at the temple stay. And it was really interesting because we learned how to do hapjang and a few different bows, and he explained the program that we're going to be doing. I'll go more into detail with that later, but for the time being, we're going to do a little tour and then have some dinner.
temple has three nicknames. It's 선찰대본산, 금정총림, 화엄종찰. So it's to show how important the temple is. And so that's why we have the nickname here. And then here we have the name of the mountain, 금정산, and then the name of the temple, Beomeosa. All the temples will always have the name of the mountain that it's built in and the name of the temple. And to explain the names, 금정산 basically means Golden Well Mountain, and it's the name of this mountain. And the reason why it's called the Golden Well Mountain is because long before this temple was built, the locals that lived here, they had a legend. And the legend was that near the top of this mountain, there's a big stone pillar, but the top is concave, so water gathers there. And so they believed that there was a golden fish from heaven that came down and lived inside that well. And if you drank the water from that well, you could be cured of any illness. That's the legend that the locals had.
To get to the main part of the temple, we have to pass through 3 different gates. I think the most interesting one for me was the second gate. That was the one with, it was like the 4
It was
heavenly...
really cool. The 4 heavenly kings that fight off evil spirits from the Buddha world.
Right.
Right now we're in the 3rd gate. I don't know the meaning behind this one, but this is the last gate.
Right.
Now let's enter the temple.
Let's enter the temple. So here we are in the dining hall, and apparently we're going to be dining on the mats on the floor, which is fascinating. Can't wait to do it.
Parugongyang is the traditional way for Korean monks to have meals. This is something that we do here at the temple every meal, basically, you know, breakfast, lunch, dinner. And so it's just a traditional way of eating. Back then, Buddha would have actually just one bowl, and he would go out into town once a day and beg for food. They would go around 7 houses, and whatever they got, that was their meal for the day. They would come back, they would put all the meal into one spot. So that tradition kind of carried over. And here in Korean temples, we don't beg for food. Buddhism is not like the state religion or the country's religion. So if we went out begging, we probably wouldn't be able to survive, basically. We kind of have meals here inside the temple. But you're going to be using these bowls, which is called paru. And these are like the traditional bowls that's supposed to symbolically represent the bowl that the Buddha used. And so we have 4 inside. And I'm going to show you how to use each one. Top cover, basically you're just gonna fold it like this. You're gonna put the spoon and the chopsticks and this, you're gonna put it on your lap. Then you're gonna take the cover off. And you put the cover on the side as well, on top of the cover. Then you're gonna lift up your paru, and then you're gonna unfold the bottom part. So this is your mat, I guess. Then you're gonna put the paru on the bottom left corner, and then you're gonna take the first one and you're gonna put it on top. You're gonna put the second one on the top right corner, the third, the last one on the right side. And then you're gonna take out the spoon and chopstick, and then you're gonna put them on the second bowl over here on the top right. Then you're gonna take the cover for the spoon, you can put it on top, and then you're gonna put this, and this is for washing your bowls, you're gonna put it on top as well. The largest one is for rice. The second largest one, the one on the right side, is for the broth. The one where you have the spoon here is for the water, and then the last one is for side dishes. Normally, before we start, I have to tap 3 times, but this is my first time, so I forgot. So I'm gonna tap 3 times now. I'm gonna do a half bow. I'm gonna tap once, and we're gonna distribute the food. Yes, you're gonna get your rice bowl, and you're just gonna hold it up. And once it's about 1/3 full, you're gonna shake your bowl like this. So that means that you had enough.
So first up, I am grabbing some rice and putting that into the largest bowl here. Just goes in like that. The second bowl is going to be for the various side dishes that are coming soon. Okay, next up we're having something that's a little bit similar to doenjang soup. It's got seaweed as well. Put a little bit into here. I put that next to my rice. And I believe when the side dishes come, that's when I'm going to put it on top of the soup as well.
You're gonna take however number of bites, and then you're gonna put your bowl back down. What you're not gonna do is you're not gonna keep holding onto the bowl as you eat. So in Korea here, we say that's impolite. So you're gonna pick your bowl up, you're gonna eat, and when you eat, you're gonna cover your mouth. You know, you're gonna cover your mouth with your bowl like this. So you're not gonna eat like this, you're not gonna eat like this. You're just gonna slightly cover your mouth, and you're gonna eat like this. And then once you eat, when you're chewing, you're gonna put your bowl back down and just kind of chew like this. And then when you have to eat again, you pick up your bowl again, same thing.
So next up, we have a banchan course, and that goes directly into the soup. So it looks like these are potatoes, kind of pickled cucumbers, kimchi, soybean, and then we have yellow radish. All right, man, what a meal, huh?
Oh my God.
What did you think?
It was incredible. I mean, silent eating 101.
Silent eating 101, exactly. So we filled our bowls. We had the main one was rice, and then we had side dishes with some, it was sort of like a soybean type, like miso type of soup, doenjang. And yeah, we ate it silently. You're supposed to lift the bowl up close to your face, and it's like, it's all about modesty, not making any noises, not
20
talking.
minutes, no noises.
Yeah.
And you're sitting down in this like communal position.
Yeah.
And it really hurts after a while.
I know, man, like our legs were cramping up. It was some serious cramping. And then what happens is you clean your bowls at the end, and because we're far from experts, we ended up having to wash it a bit, came back, dried it, assembled the whole thing, and brought it, basically just put it away. And yeah, that was our first basically traditional Buddhist meal here in Korea.
Yeah, it was really amazing. The food was super delicious, you know, really organic.
Yeah.
And really the hardest part was being quiet.
Yes.
And now we have to be really quiet.
Right, man, so we just had an experience that we couldn't film.
Yeah, it was called the evening chanting ceremony. 15-minute like procession of basically we got up, down on our knees, bow, up, down, bow, and then the monk and the lady next to us like do like a song. Yeah. And then he rings a bell. Yeah. It was long.
Yeah, it was fascinating.
Yeah, it was really incredible.
I really enjoyed it. I also realized I need to work on my flexibility a lot. I need to start doing some more stretching.
It's pretty hard getting on your knees, right, for that long. And now we have about 20 minutes and we're going to our next activity. Yeah. We're gonna learn how to do 108 bows. Wow. And we're gonna do, I think we're gonna put together like some beads, 108 beads.
The number 108. So in Buddhism, we say that a person has 6 ways that he or she can interact with the world. So we see with our eyes, we hear with our ears, we smell with our nose, we taste with our mouth, we feel with our skin, and we think with our minds. So when we use these 6 senses, these 6 organs, you make 2 kinds of false views. So the first one is in terms of good and evil. So something's good, something's not good, something's neither good nor not good. The second one is in terms of personal preference. So something you like, something you don't like, something you neither like nor dislike. So there's 6 senses, 6 organs, and then there's 3 and 3, which is another 6. So 6 times 6 is 36. And then you're going to multiply that by 3, which is the concept of time. So past, present, and future. Basically, the time frame is an infinite time frame, because if you consider past life, present life, future life. So within this infinite time frame, 36 times 3 is 108. And so originally the idea is that every time you do a bow, you're contemplating on each of the 108 false views. At the beginning, we have to start with a half bow, right? So the half bow is going to be 3 taps. And then for each tap, you guys are going to do 1 full bow. You're going to go down, do the hand motions, come back up. And then before the last bow, before the 108th bow, I'm going to give a verbal comment. I'm going to say, this is the last bow. And then I'm going to tap. You guys are going to go down, do the hand motions. And then for the last bow, you have to do the extra step, right? So the 1 extra step. While you're doing that extra step, I'm going to give 2 more taps. I'm going to go. Then when you hear the 2 taps, you have to finish the last bow movement, the last step, the extra step, and you have to stand up.
How was the experience overall?
Oh my god, it was really intense.
Yeah.
You know, after like the first 50, I just lost myself in my own mind. I didn't keep count at all.
I know, it makes me realize how out of shape I am. I need to go back on a fitness program when
That was intense, dude.
That was. Now we do what, 108?
108 beads.
You're gonna have 108 small beads, and you're gonna have 1 bead that's larger than the rest with a top. So that's called the mother bead. You're gonna use it last, so you're gonna set it aside. And then there's 1 for decorative purposes, so you're also going to use that last, so you can set it aside for now. So what you can do is you can count to make sure you have 108 beads either before you start or after you finish.
So we just went through a process of making a bracelet, or you can also put it as a necklace.
Yeah.
So it's 108 beads, and usually what people do in other temples is what they do is they do the 108 bows, but after each bow, they put 1 bead into like the band, right? Into the
Talk about discipline, huh?
Yeah, but they sort of simplified it because they were saying a lot of people were complaining because their legs would hurt because like, once you're done, you stay on your knees and you do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, once you do that whole process, put it all together, it takes like, I don't know, 20 minutes roughly.
So they broke it into 2 activities. That was just part 2 of what we did.
Yeah, really
It's
cool.
looking good, man.
It's nice, right?
So what do you think of the accommodations, Chris?
Oh, they look pretty comfy, I have to say.
Giant sleepover, huh?
Yeah, I think it'll be good. You know, like they say, like firm mattresses are good for your back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what they say. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's true. And I don't know who this day is.
Yeah,
but
and we are firmly on the ground.
we are firmly.
Firmly.
Good night.
Good night. Good morning, good morning. We made it through the night here at the temple stay.
Yes,
What did you think?
It was good, but there was some mosquitoes buzzing in my ear like at 4 in the morning. And then the drum started at 4:30.
That's right. So that's the only time I woke up though. This is the first time I made it through the night. It was great. I actually had my best sleep here. Yeah, and we heard the drumming, and then an hour later, now it's like 5 o'clock, and we were woken up. It's time to get up. We have things to do. Lights were turned on, and yeah, this is the start of the day.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Well, I was just informed that they have coffee, so I think I'm gonna go have a coffee. And looking in the screen here, I've got Wolverine hair, so I think it's also time for a shower. I'm gonna do both of those things.
One of the most common ways to do samatha meditation is you focus on an object. So let's say it's like this dot here. So you'll look at it and you'll concentrate on it and you meditate. If you focus on one object as you meditate, then that object is supposed to become bigger and bigger, covers your entire field of view. That's like samatha meditation. So you're basically concentrating on one thing. The other way of meditating is called Vipassana meditation. Vipassana meditation is basically letting go meditation. If you sit and you meditate, all kinds of thoughts will arise, right? So you'll have all these different kinds of thoughts. And so in Vipassana meditation, the practice is letting go of those thoughts. So you're not holding on to them. If you really analyze the way the body thinks, the mind thinks, you'll notice that it goes from one place to another. It's very random, it's very chaotic. You won't focus on one line of thought. Your mind doesn't work like, you know, what am I gonna have for breakfast? What am I gonna do after breakfast? What am I gonna do after that? The way the mind works is kind of like, okay, what am I gonna have for breakfast? What did I do yesterday? What was that song that I was thinking of 2 days ago? You know, it's very chaotic. The practice of Vipassana meditation is to not hold onto one thought. You're basically letting go of any thought. So if a thought arises, you just let it pass as quickly as possible without holding on to it. So these are the two main types of meditation. I think we're going to go with samatha meditation, except we're not going to look at something. We're going to focus on breathing. So breathing is actually the most basic way to do meditation. You're going to breathe in and then breathe out, and then that's going to be 1. Then you're going to do it again, breathe in, breathe out, that's going to be 2. So you're going to go from 1 to 5 and then 5 to 1. Except the one rule is if you think about something else other than the number, you're going to go back to 1. The goal is to go from breathing in to out and then counting without having any other thoughts in between. And then if you have some other thought, you know, for example, okay, I'm a little hungry right now, then you go back to 1.
So right now we're doing morning meditation. There are a number of different styles that you can do, but the one that we're going to be focusing on is on our breath, and we're doing it outside because it's such a nice morning. So we started off with a morning meditation, and it was fascinating because basically we were expected to just focus on numbers, counting to 5, so breathing in 1, breathing out, and then 2. And anytime you focus on anything else, like if a thought crept up, then you go back to 1.
Yeah, the main thing is that you literally only see that in your mind.
Right.
Nothing else is coming in.
Right.
But then I saw the camera, I was like, oh, the camera.
Yeah.
It's like, back.
Yeah, back to 1 again. Anyways, the setting was great because we actually went outside for a little bit. It's so calm in the morning, huh?
Yeah,
Like
yeah. So
nice
peaceful,
breeze.
nice breeze.
Birds
I mean,
chirping.
Looking over this mountain is just incredible.
Oh my gosh, yeah, like this has just been a phenomenal stay. But anyways, it is time for breakfast. Apparently it's a buffet. So guys, we have a buffet breakfast. We've gone back to the same dining hall, and it's just a vegetarian extravaganza. And you can put as much as you want on the plate, which is amazing. Just take a look here. It's a combination of vegetables and fruit. We've got kimchi over here. We've got rice. We've got like a fruit salad and what appears to be mayo. We have broccoli. So it's just a super healthy way to start the day. I'm gonna try a little bit here. I wanna try the kimchi. Looks so good. Oh my gosh. And the other thing I should mention too is that everything is organic and locally sourced, and that just makes the experience even more authentic and healthy. Oh, the kimchi is so good. It's potent, spicy. And I'm gonna try the broccoli. This is just a wonderful way to start the morning. So part of the fascinating experience about dining here is that you wash your own dishes afterwards, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's just a very respectful thing to do. So let's go do that. So we walk into here and just basically turning on the water. We've got a nice wash pad. Pour the soap into that, a little bit on the pad, a little bit on the plate. And then just power washing through. Scrub it really well. Alright, and once you're done, kind of just shake it a bit, let it drip dry slightly, and we actually bring the chopsticks and the plate back to the dining hall area. And there was a stack of plates, but they've already been collected, so I'm just gonna put mine here, and that's it. So next up, we're visiting a smaller temple. Actually, there's 10 of these that surround the main temple. What's fascinating about this area is that this particular temple had a founder of martial art that became quite popular and famous in Korea. Now, it's moved its headquarters since then, but at the time, this was the headquarters for that martial arts. Another thing that's fascinating is that you can see some mythical characters from different eras of Korea's past. I think it dates back to its shamanism period. So the final program we had here at the temple was just very casual. Tea with some oranges, and we got to talk to the monk a lot, just to ask him questions about whatever we had on our mind, which was fantastic. A very fun way to end the program here. Overall, the temple stay was phenomenal. We absolutely loved it. The program they put together was very special. We got to experience what it was like to be a monk here in the temple in South Korea. We also ate some fantastic Korean food, all vegetarian. We got to try meditation. We got to do a whole bunch of different things. If you're coming to South Korea and you're looking for something to do, especially an experiential stay like this, highly recommend doing a temple stay in Korea. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel, Samuel and Audrey. Subscribe to David's channel, and we will see you with more food and travel adventures here in South Korea.